Welcome to the Middle School Cafe podcast, where we're serving up fresh strategies and solutions for ELA teachers just like you. Join us as we explore proven methods to bridge the achievement gap and help every student reach their full potential. Whether you're a veteran teacher or just starting out, grab a cup of coffee and a notepad and let's get started. Here's your host, Carolyn Wall.
Welcome to the Middle School Cafe podcast. I'm your host, Carolyn, and today is our September bonus episode. Whenever a month has 5 Tuesdays, I like to add in an extra episode. Regular episodes come out on the first and third Tuesday of each month, but on those special months with a 5th Tuesday, you'll get a little something extra. A short, actionable, and practical episode with quick wins you can use right away. This one's all about helping students pick out a just right book for right now. I want to emphasize that phrase, for right now, because the book that fits in September may not be the same book that fits in November. And that's perfectly normal. Our students' energy, moods, and needs change throughout the year. And when we can help them connect with a book that matches where they are in the moment, we set them up for success. Since many of us are either planning our very first library trip of the year or heading back for a second visit, I thought it would be the perfect time to share some strategies to make those visits more successful. Because let's be honest, students wandering the library without a plan often grab something random or, worse, leave empty-handed. We want them walking out with a book they're actually excited to try, not one that will sit unopened in their backpack. So let's get into some quick wins you can use on your next library visit. One of the simplest things you can do is set the tone for the visit before you even head down to the library. Remind students that the goal is to find a book they're excited to read right now. Not a book to impress you, not the hardest book on the shelf, not the one their friend insists they read. The goal is their choice. I always tell my students that their reading journey belongs to them. When they feel ownership of the process, they're much more likely to stick with it. Another quick win is to preview some books as a class. This doesn't have to take a long time. Even 5 minutes before your visit can make a difference. I like to grab a few books from my own stack or pull from titles I've already book-talked in September. It helps students remember what they've heard about and sparks interest in books that might have slipped their mind. This is also a good time to have them pull out their TBR list, that little running list of to-be-read books they've been adding to all month. Having a few titles in mind before they even step into the library not only gives them a head start, it also sets the intention that they're going in to find a book. While you're previewing, don't forget to touch on genre. A quick genre review is always helpful, especially early in the year. Highlight different genres and different lengths so students see that variety is normal. Sometimes they need the reminder that it's okay to pick up a short book, a graphic novel, or even nonfiction. And here's another key piece. Make sure your students understand how the library is set up. Ideally, the librarian or library aide can walk them through where everything is, but if that's not possible, take a few minutes to do it yourself before you set students free to browse. Students won't feel comfortable searching if they don't know where to go, and that can stop them before they even get started. Once students are in the library, I like to teach them a simple strategy. Ask yourself the right now question. What do I feel like reading right now? Do I want something fast and funny? Something deep and serious? Maybe a true story or a fantasy adventure? Framing it this way takes the pressure off finding their forever favorite book and helps them connect with something that matches their current mood or need. From there, I encourage them to give their choices a 2-minute tryout. It's quick, it's simple, and it works. Look at the cover and the blurb. Read the first page, then skim a random page in the middle. If they're interested, if they understand it, and if they aren't lost, it's probably a good fit. This trial run helps them avoid taking home a book that looks good on the outside, but just doesn't connect when they start reading. Another easy strategy is to build in a little peer sharing. After students have browsed for a bit, have them turn and talk with a classmate about what they grabbed and why. I can't tell you how often students decide on a book after hearing another student's quick pitch. It builds buy-in and sometimes sparks excitement they wouldn't get on their own. We know peer recommendations carry so much weight, and this gives students a natural space to share without turning it into a full-blown book talk. And finally, give permission to abandon the book if they try it and don't like it. I know I've mentioned this before in other episodes, but it's worth repeating here. Give students permission to abandon a book that isn't working for them. This is a real-world skill. As adults, we all start books that sounded interesting, but then don't hold our attention, and we put them aside. Sometimes we try a new genre and realize it's not our taste. That's okay. The important thing is to reframe it for students. It's not, I'm bad at reading. It's simply, this isn't the right book for right now. That shift in language helps them see that reading is flexible, not a pass fail activity. These little strategies really do add up. Every time a student successfully finds a book they want to read, it builds their independence and confidence. They start to recognize what works for them, what genres or formats fit, and they carry that knowledge into the next library visit. Over time, it makes each trip smoother because students walk in with a clearer sense of what they're looking for. That's how we move students from grabbing random books just to check something out to students becoming intentional, thoughtful readers who see the library as a place where they belong. Before we wrap up, let me quickly summarize the quick wins we talked about today. First, set the tone before you go. Remind students that their goal is to find something they're excited to read right now. Second, preview a few books as a class and have students check their TBR lists so they walk in with ideas. Third, review genres and make sure students understand how the library is set up so they know where to look. Fourth, teach them to ask the right now question, what do I feel like reading today? Fifth, encourage a 2-minute tryout so they can test the book before checking it out. Sixth, build in time for peer sharing because students often get hooked by each other's recommendations. And finally, normalize abandoning a book that isn't the right fit. It's about finding the right book for right now, not struggling through something they don't enjoy. At the end of the day, a successful library visit isn't about the perfect book. It's about momentum. If your students leave with a book they're willing to try, you've done your job. Over time, the more they practice this process, the better they'll get at recognizing what works for them and what doesn't. And the more we can normalize that, the more likely they are to keep picking up books, even outside of school. It's also worth reminding students that their book doesn't have to be a physical copy from the shelf. Audiobooks and ebooks count too. Many districts now have online library systems, and most public libraries give free access to digital collections as well. For some students, listening to a story on their phone or Chromebook makes reading feel easier to fit into their day. For others, the convenience of having a book right on their device means they always have something to read, even if they left their library book at home. The more we normalize those options, the more students can see that reading comes in different forms, and all of them are valid. So, if you haven't scheduled that first or next library visit yet, now's the time. Because at the end of the day, students can't read if they don't have books in their hands. Thanks for joining me for this September bonus episode. I'll be back with a regular episode next week, talking about reading sprints and helping students build their stamina and focus. Until then, I hope you find time to connect your students with a book that feels just right for right now. Thanks for joining me today. As a reminder, a new episode drops every first and third Tuesday, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. Be sure to visit middleschoolcafe.com to find links to everything mentioned in today's show. Until next time.